here's a question from Gus, who's one of our Patreon peoples.
Gus.
So it's a good thing I didn't forget to do that one.
He's in live
Gus.
chat too.
Oh, hey Gus.
Gus.
Gus asked, "What is your favorite soundtrack of any game? Could be Zelda, could be not Zelda. Video game soundtracks."
Oh. Sound. Like a song or just the whole soundtrack?
Just I guess just the whole soundtrack. Just like you have to take it as one package, you know.
Midna's Lemon.
If you
Is that how you pronounce it?
That's
Yeah.
one song, not a soundtrack.
That's the song I pick.
That is
So she picks Twilight Princess.
Midna's Lemon.
No, I'm gonna pick Spirit
I mean-
Tracks for tonight.
Ooh, Spirit Tracks is good. Twilight Princess does not have a bad soundtrack. You know, it's got a very thematic feel to it. You know, and
but it doesn't have the best soundtrack.
It would be better if they had orchestrated it like they did
Yeah.
for Star Fox. But
I think Twilight Princess's music was too ambient for my taste. It was too, especially for the dungeons. They didn't really have anything memorable, in my opinion.
okay,
It was too just ambient, just too much just sound. If that makes sense. Like if you go to like Ocarina of Time or Majora's Mask or anything, the music had more of a melody.
Yeah, Majora's
But it wasn't-
Mask is bumping.
it's got some
Yeah.
music.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially
It's good,
the
it's true.
Forest Temple in Majora's Mask. Yeah,
Oh yeah,
it's very.
even though it has the weird yodeling.
And the screaming. Yeah.
yeah. No, very very memorable dungeon music. I since he said it doesn't have to be Zelda. Gosh, I know this is still hard. I feel like I've got too many that I'm like that's the one, and then no, but what about? So I'm just gonna go with my first gut instinct, which is Super Metroid. I've been on a big Metroid kick lately, but Super Metroid is superb. Has a superb soundtrack. There's a few tracks in it that are definitely not just like easy listening, you know, but there are some good tracks that you could just put on like that Upper Brinstar theme, and you could just like do the dishes to that song or whatever. but then there's never a moment in that game where the music does not 110% fit where you are and how you should feel in that situation. Like every moment of that soundtrack is crafted to fit the tone and mood like perfectly. Even if it's just even the save room has this creepy ambient, like creepy weird alien feel to it, and it's magnificent. It's good. But that Upper Brinstar theme is bumping. I could seriously listen to that on repeat forever. So he said non-Zelda, so I thought I'd just go out there, just reach from somewhere else. So that's me. Jesse looks like he's just gone. He's spaced it right out.
I
I
said
said
Animal
Spirit
Crossing because
Tracks.
Animal Crossing has the largest range of music.
Never played it.
I know this seems like a very Kayla answer, but
You already picked a lemon. You already picked Midna's Lemon.
Midna's Lemon.
I had to pick a soundtrack. I couldn't pick a song. Okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
so if it's not Zelda, then you got Animal Crossing.
Yes.
All right, I
What
got
about you, Jesse?
Final Fantasy X.
Boo.
Love it.
No,
I'm indifferent to that.
I like
answer.
the
You
like,
guys
there's-
just like polarized that.
No, so there's the opening theme for Final Fantasy X, where they're just like telling the story and like the scenes going
Yeah.
over, like everyone kind of grouped together, and it like sets the tone for the game. But Justin says, "Wait, did everyone go?
I don't think.
Tomoya, did you go?"
No,
Do you
I
have a
didn't
favorite?
go. That's the thing. That's why I didn't really go. Is because I can't really think of a game that had a really good.
Okay.
It's
You
like
know
hard.
pull one out of your ass, you know.
After this, Justin says that we skipped over his question.
I'd have to say for Zelda, Wind Waker, probably.
Wind Waker's good.
Yeah, Wind Waker's music, or Link Between Worlds.
That's
That
a
had
good
really
one.
good music too.
That's a goodie.
Yeah, it
Can't
is.
just-
I
One
really
game.
like that. All my favorite are Link to the Past songs, but orchestrated. It's just
Ultimately,
Mhm.
Wind Waker. I think that's my number one choice for Zelda. So,
All right, do you have
Little Big Planet
non-Zelda?
1 had a really good soundtrack.
Little Big Planet. Never played it.
well, I'm gonna raise you Earthbound. Had
Oh,
a
love Earthbound. We'll listen to
big
Earthbound
soundtrack.
all the time.
big soundtrack.
I like
Never
the
played
Little
Good
Big
either.
Planet soundtrack. I used to play the original and think there's no way someone could play this game and stay sad.
I remember I was
Fair
baking
enough.
cookies one day with a friend, and we were listening to the Little Big Planet soundtrack, and their family came home, and they were like, "What the heck are you guys listening to?" They had no idea. It's like hardly in English, most of their music.
Oh
yeah,
no.
it's crazy.
I almost feel like we like almost did a disservice by not even mentioning Donkey Kong Country music. I I just feel like someone's gonna be like in the
That
comments gonna be
DK
like,
rap.
But guys, Donkey Kong Country has
No, Donkey Kong 64.
Sticker Symphony is the greatest song that composer David Wise.
we get it. I love Donkey Kong Country music, but
It's
It's
the
a
DK
little-
rap.
everybody really just throws that one out there. I just thought if I didn't say something, someone would get angry at us later.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
But Tamoya, did you have a non-Zelda game that you mentioned?
Man, a tie between Conquer and Banjo.
Ooh.
Fair.
Banjo-Kazooie. So maybe I want to say Banjo because it. No, I want to say Conquer. Right? I want to say Conquer.
Okay. Done.
Conquer.
Done like dinner.
Alright.
With that being said, also, let's not forget Resident Evil Basement soundtrack. Best song.
Basement soundtrack?
Soundtrack.
Yeah.
I don't. Never heard.
You gotta
of it.
Google it. It's actually the worst song ever. If you look up worst video
Oh,
game soundtrack,
no.
it's right up there.
Oh no. Oh wait, is it from like OG Resident Evil?
Yeah.
The one that's got like the weird horn in it and
Yeah.
it just feels very
I never heard
like
this.
it just makes no sense.
No, it
I'll have to
doesn't.
look this up later.
It's like someone like someone just imagine this, okay? You're in the recording studio, you're making the
have an idea.
soundtrack for Resident Evil. It's a horror game. You're just finished recording for the day. You leave the office, you're like, "Man, everything's good." But then, you're just about to leave and your wife comes by with your son, he's like, 6 years old or something. And she's just
Wait,
like,
I got
"Okay,
it, I got it.
just can you just hang out some stuff, Yeah. So, anyway, just imagine you forgot to stop recording and your kid went into the studio and started playing around with a bunch of stuff. And somehow some producer was like, "This is the basement theme. That's the one."
Wow. 1.2 million views, guys.
Sorry?
1.2 million views on that one video.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
Boy, oh boy.
That was pretty bad. Maybe it was meant to be.
It was maybe
Like maybe they're like
another good.
Sorry.
Oh no, you go ahead.
I was gonna say maybe they thought like it's supposed to be like an uncomfortable, eerie feeling in the game, so let's make the music uncomfortable.
I don't know. I just get like the wrong kind of uncomfortable from it. Like
mean-
rather than horror game Resident Evil uncomfortable, I got like I just walked in on someone in a bathroom stall uncomfortable.
That's what I was gonna say. Oh my god.
I never played Resident Evil 1, but what was the atmosphere like in the basement? Like, did it suit the song or?
Not
No.
remotely. Like, not even close to what you would think that song would be used for. Oh dear, it's not a good time. Abigail in the chat says, "Fun fact: one time I was so bored that I watched the video of a 2-hour-long Splatoon hologram concert with Callie and Mari. That's gotta be pretty bored, Abigail. But
Oh my god.
I will say Splatoon actually has a surprisingly good soundtrack.
I can't listen to that soundtrack.
If you kind of like just get past the weird squid talk, there's some actually really good upbeat songs. Do you have a cat behind you, Tamoya? there's a cat.
Yeah, I do.
Oh my god, bring him. Forget everything. Forget the mailbag. Bring the cat.
There he comes.
I was gonna say, in the realm, I know this is totally off topic, but in the realm of bad video game music, no offense, Daniel, Yoshi is really good at giving some really bad soundtracks.
You're not wrong.
Crafted World, when you go to put in the coins in that slot, like in the vending machine, the music there is terrible.
Yeah, it's not great, but I will say there's a couple standout tracks in Yoshi's Crafted World, but overall, the whole time I was playing through it, I kept thinking Yoshi's Woolly World had such a great soundtrack. What happened?
Yeah, I don't know
what happened.
Let me remind
Who
you.
let the kid into the studio after?
there are about 40 people watching us at almost 1 a.m. Eastern talking about bad music.
Yeah.
All right.
Y'all gotta find something better to do with your time.
So Justin says, you guys didn't get to my question, but it's okay. If I really want to know, I can just ask whenever. So I think he's a Patreon supporter of not just me, but Ilya as well.
Oh.
Yeah.
He's also subbed to me.
Oh, you know what? He did put it in the mailbag here.
Yeah. So go ahead and get to his. We'll end with his question.
Okay.
Sure.
We derailed really hard.
So yeah, we sure did.
They ask about good music, and we talk about bad music.
We did. I mean, we had to have it both ways. We did talk about good music as well. Yeah. Okay. This is the Halo Justin question that we're gonna do this. Okay. He asked, "What do you think the potential of fan-made Zelda games, such as Twilight Princess 2, could be? Do you think?" Oh, sorry, I'm stumbling here. Do you think we will get things like Wind Waker 2 and other things made being allowed by Nintendo? And what do you think of potential of other fan-made Zelda projects, such as those made by Melons, such as Melon Speedruns and others? This is a very broad question.
Yeah. Wait, first, Tomoya, do you know Melon Speedruns?
Yeah, I do. I worked with him a while ago.
He's been on the channel before. What did you work with him on? Did you say you worked with him?
Did I work with him on? Oh yeah, he was. I think he wanted to be a programmer to do some stuff on the GameCube. This was way back. It was just when it was just a texture pack for the GameCube emulator. He just wanted to be a programmer to do certain stuff, and then he didn't really meet the, I guess, expectations I thought he would. Or I wouldn't say that. Man, I really don't want to get into that, actually.
It happens.
It's not bad. It's not bad.
job.
I'll put it that way. It's not bad. He was a good guy. He really was. But then he also helped out with programming for the Twilight Princess project, the Unreal one. When we were going to do it on Unity, it was going to be a programmer for that.
All right.
But we ended up on Unreal.
So, Daniel, do you want to continue?
Oh, that was the whole question. He did
but
ask
you
it,
started to give your thoughts on it.
Yeah, you said it was broad.
It is. Well, it is a broad question. I'm not sure I'm fully getting what he's 100% getting at, to be honest. But I think
I was gonna say, when I think this question, I think Cadence of Hyrule or whatever it's called, Blossom Tales, fan-made games like our Twilight Princess 2, and then we have the multiplayer online that I think Melons is working on.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Multiplayer online?
For Ocarina of Time.
Oh,
yeah.
That's interesting.
So it is. It's really neat to think that it's really cool to live in an age where we can do this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I just wish it was for the Semu or something for Breath of the Wild.
Yeah.
Too bad that was a fake. It's unfortunate.
Sadly, to answer this question, so Sega's done some cool stuff with fans, but
Nintendo isn't really open to that.
Yeah, we've seen the Metroid 2 or Samus Returns, the AMR2. What was it?
Yeah, AM2R.
AM2R. Another Metro 2
I almost said ASMR 2.
ASMR. Oh my goodness.
Oh man.
Oh no.
I wouldn't mind that.
So
Samus.
yeah, that was a good fan remake of a game that just got canceled and shut down, and then not long later Nintendo's like, here's our version.
Yeah,
I
it's
mean,
pretty much why
based
they did
on
that.
I mean, based on where things were along, like it does make some sense that they had probably been working on it for a long time before, like not as long as a AM2R, which I think was like almost a 10-year development, or something. It was something super long like that. But you could tell Nintendo, like, they didn't just start on Samus Returns when they axed AM2R. I think the timing was just real bad, and they didn't handle it. Their legal team and everything didn't handle it super gracefully from a PR perspective. But yeah, it does kind of still make some sense that it's like, okay, well, fan thing just came out, but Nintendo's already remaking this game, so of course they're gonna probably put it down, because now this thing went from a neat fan remake to something that's directly competing with their new thing, right?
Right.
So, and in a lot of ways, people still feel like AM2R is the superior game, which I have, but still need to get around to playing AM2R. But that's beside the point. Yeah, it's just one of those weird enigmas. But it is neat to see, like things like Cadence of Hyrule, where they were gonna just make it as like a weird Zelda add-on, like a DLC pack for Tomb what is it? Tomb of the Necrodancer.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's right. Okay. And then Nintendo's like, nah, this is pretty cool. Let's just make it a whole game.
Yeah, that actually brings a lot of hope into like Nintendo. That actually shows that Nintendo actually has some heart. They're probably who knows? Maybe they'll accept other third-party games of their IPs. Who knows? Because the Cadence of Hyrule thing, man, that's you might look at that as a small thing, but that's pretty big. In my opinion.
Yeah.
That does show they're open.
We have a super chat, and I'm trying to find the questions.
It says, I asked a few questions a while ago. This is from Break the Game, BTG. I asked a few questions a while ago about the concerns of Loftwings in a Breath of the Wild atmosphere in the next installment, along with some things about Majora's Mask and future temples, if you could find them. So, yeah, Chub said she's looking for that, and I think I would have liked Loftwings for Breath of the Wild. There was a lot of people that I had mentioned it in a video, and they commented saying, like, no, that would completely break the game. And I'm like, no, you just get it towards the end of the game, and then, like, you can already, as long as you find the shrine or the tower or whatever, you can literally just warp anywhere you want to in the game. So, like, a lot of people were like, well, Loftwing would break the game, it would ruin exploration, and I'm just like, no, like, you can already warp almost anywhere you want to. Like, if anything, that ruins the adventure and exploration more so than Loftwings, where I think Loftwings would add to the exploration, because then you'd be able to see everything from a top-down point of view, and then you'd be able to, like,
navigate.
Yeah, like, you would be able to find areas that if you're just riding on a horse or warping everywhere because you have no reason to walk there, then you may skip over a ton of places, which is why they added in that Hero's Journey DLC thing with the first DLC pack, to where you can see all the different areas you've been to. That way you can go to places that you... Yeah. So if they added in Loftwings, you might be able to be like, oh, well, there's a lake there that I never knew existed. Let's go explore it.
They could have done that in mountains, though. They could have had like a little pad with its own little art thing around it. On a high mountain, you've seen all this stuff in the distance.
Yeah,
could have been cool. Could have done that as well.
Two things further to your point, Jesse. With it kind of being game breaking, one is that is something neat that I read in Creating a Champion, was when they were talking about adding the motorcycle in. Aonuma apparently suggested it because he likes motorcycles, and then the whole dev team shot him down and was like, no, it's too game breaking. And then so when they were doing the DLC, he's like, well, it's not game breaking if we make it at the end of the game, because they've already explored it. And they're like, all right, we'll put in a motorcycle. So similar kind of thing almost. But yeah, I think that would fix a lot of people's concerns with it, is just put it as it's an end game item, Maybe even after you have to beat the game first. Even I think some people would just go straight for Ganon out of the plateau to try and get it, or something like that. But I don't know. It'd make it so that you have to meet a certain requirement, make it end game in order to actually get him, and it would be a ton of fun.
Or you could just make it where if you beat a dungeon or something, they would just spawn at that location. That way, if you want to go back, traverse back and forth or whatever, you need to, maybe you forgot something, just go back. You know how like in the beginning of the game, they just kind of like every single one of them just kind of like rows.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe like after you beat a dungeon or something like that, one plops in that area. I don't know. Or maybe after you complete a certain objective or something.
Yeah, it could
If
be
you,
really cool.
if you unlock them all, maybe when you make a new game,
Yeah,
I'll be there.
You know what? Actually, that almost would have been a better reward for getting all 120 shrines than the tunic. You know, if they gave you, here's your burb. Just
Yeah, that was a big slap in the face with the tunic, man. Damn.
They're just like, yeah, you get a tunic, man. It's not even as good as the champion's tunic.
Not that. It's just like thank you for giving me something after I beat the content. Like it would have been nice if I had this beating the content, you know? Like what's the point of having the tunic when you already beat everything, you know? So
Yeah.
it's like
Fashion. It's called fashion. Look it up. No.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Okay, so I couldn't find Break the Game's question, so I asked him to repost it in the chat.
Okay.
And then
BKRS7 says, I'm also a Patreon supporter, and I put my question in the Discord. It might be a dumb question. If you guys don't want to answer, don't worry about it, though. I know you're probably tired. Honestly, don't know if my question was already even answered. So is his question?
So I have the question here.
Okay.
So they ask two small questions. Do you think that in the next 3D Zelda that's being made in the same style as Breath of the Wild, will Link obtain a musical instrument like the Ocarina, or another? I kind of miss the aspect of having a musical instrument with song variants be a pivotal part of the game. And do you think he will wear a new outfit once again, like the Champion's tunic from Breath of the Wild?
I hope so, that we get the new tunic. And Breath of the Wild could have been a cool, if they would have implemented a musical instrument, because they have casts in all the different areas. And in the same way that Sheik taught you a bunch of different songs in Ocarina of Time, it would have been cool if you could run across casts, and then instead of just warping to the different towers.
You have to learn 120 songs.
No, not for the shrines, for the towers. If he was like, if you want to warp to a shrine in this area, then you need to play this song. And then that allows you to warp to the different areas.
Okay.
I think that
Could
could have
be
been
neat.
a cool
I
way
kind
to
of
do
like the more like streamlined warp song of Majora's Mask, the variants of, like in Ocarina of Time, there's for every warp location there's a different song, but in Majora's Mask they kind of just push it to Song of Soaring. You got one warp song, and there's the other songs do other stuff. And I don't know, like for me, just I like the songs themselves from a musical perspective, but when I'm actually playing the game, I'm like, I would much rather be able to just
Press
pick on a
button,
map like
just get-
where I wanna. Yeah. So like I kind of want to have my cake and eat it too in that one, I guess. But yeah, it would still. I think almost what you said is kind of a compromise between the two. You don't have to learn 120 plus 128, I guess, if you count the towers, plus the DLC ones.
Well, the
so 142 shrines that warp places.
The shrines could have worked like how they did with the Majora's Mask with the owls, you know? Just had one song, you could warp to any shrine you wanted. Like the Song of the Shrines, something stupid like that. So
Yeah, that actually sounds good too.
something like
Song of
that.
the Shrines.
Yeah, there you go. Nintendo gets on that, they owe you a royalty. Song of the Shrines. There was more to this question, I think, wasn't there?
The
It
tunic.
was just about the tunic, and then which
Tunic.
like musical instrument I guess he would play.
I think
guitar.
They had
based
him
on
in guitar concept art.
That's true.
Breath
And
of the Wild.
they also had motorcycle concept art, and the motorcycle made it into the game.
Yeah.
So where's the guitar?
Maybe all the
Cars
concept-
and guns.
Yeah, all the concept art's
And
just
aliens?
Miyamoto. Like, this is why we don't let you make Zelda games anymore. Like this,
You're done. You're cut off.
this is why we have Al Numa now.
Oh, that is funny. But the Tunic, I definitely think they're gonna go with probably something different in like probably every game now, because I think like that was a big deal breaking away from the Green Tunic, and Aonuma talked about it extensively and creating a champion and stuff, just like wanting to break the mold and move away from that, and how really what Link's wearing is not really that important to the game overall. So I wouldn't be surprised if we get a new Tunic, just a completely new design for Link altogether in the next game.
But now you have to think though, like what makes Link Link now? You know,
Those big blue
Well-
eyes.
because now any
nipples.
elf, because technically any elf can be Link, right?
Yeah.
Because they kind of broke that standard now. Now Link isn't a person that's an elf. The green hat, the green tunic, and those pants and sword and shield. It's not Link anymore. So now he's more like, I guess, just he's anything now. You know?
Yeah.
He's a Link cosplayer, so he's actually Tingle.
Ooh. Not where I was hoping
So-
this would go.
Well, that's like Breath of the Wild
know.
when you start out as Link, he's just naked. Like just
Oh,
wearing
yeah.
blue boxer.
Wait, that's the new
shorts,
Link. It's naked. Just be
That's
naked.
the new
man.
Naked Link. Naked
There you
Link is
go.
canon.
running around with
And then
dumb
he can be
abs.
whatever you want him to be after that.
Yeah, that's
Even his
true.
hair changes too.
A reflection of yourself, whatever you want to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The next Zelda game will have you take a photo of yourself.
It's right in the face.
It's just face scan.
That's
a
why
real
there's a
Link to the
camera on the Wii
character.
U.
They could, yeah, they didn't do that. I guess
Was that the last question?
the Wii U camera.
Yeah, we were waiting
Yeah,
for
I
another one,
think-
but it never came through.
Well,
so
we answered
maybe-
one of his questions.
Is that from?
We can save the other one for the next mailbag. 'cause
from BTG, and then never got a question there.
It's late. It's 1 a.m.
We'll have to hunt it down for next week.
Yeah.
So sorry we didn't answer both or all of the questions, but we got one of your questions. We'll save the other one. It'll be like the first for the next mailbag next week. So, anyways, thank you all for watching at 1 a.m. All 39 of you guys. Jablima, Daniel, Tamoya, thank you guys for watching. Head over, check everyone's stuff out. Chubes, where can people find you?
You can find me on Twitter, Instagram, Tumblr, and Twitch at Chublima. Except if you're going to find me on Twitch, you have to put an extra A at the end of Chublima because I'm just like that.
Chublima.
Chublima.
RuneScape.
Ah! Yeah.
Never live in that.
And RuneScape.
Daniel, where can people find you?
Yes, feel free to also follow me on Twitter, Instagram, Twitch, and now YouTube. As of like this week at Capt Burgerson, CaptBurgerson. I usually stream on Twitch every Tuesday and Wednesday in the late morning, early afternoon, depending on where you live. So tomorrow, earlier today and tomorrow, for example, are days that I stream on Twitch. And yeah, my YouTube channel is sort of me just trying to amalgamate all these I spread myself really thin across YouTube, so I'm trying to, I guess, reclaim all that and just consolidate everything into one place to make it easier, so I can just say go to this one YouTube channel instead of
Right.
saying, yeah, I worked on this Zelda Informer and Nintendo Prime, and then I also edited for Chamber of Sages, and I also did yeah, it's just much easier to just put it all in one place. So
Yes.
that now exists. My recognizable facey face. So just that's me. And I guess if you really want to talk, there's always Discord, guys.
All right. And Tamoya, where can people find you?
YouTube and Discord. That's about it. I mean, you can find me on Twitter or Facebook, but it's not really as active. So, the most active and the most up to date info you can find me, like anything that I'm doing up to date, would be on YouTube and Discord.
All right.
So,
And I am at GameOverJesse on everything. The Facebook page, Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, everything is /GameOverJesse. I'll have links for everyone's YouTube and Twitter and every social media thing that I can find in the description of the video for the edited versions. So yeah, thank you guys for watching, especially those who've stayed late this entire 2 hours and 11 minutes of the podcast, it seems, and we will see you all next week. Bye.
Hey everyone, it's me again, Elia Rose. I just wanted to say thank you so much for watching this video. And you know what? If you're a fan of videos like this, you should totally subscribe and give this video a like and comment below to let us know what type of videos you would like to see us create in the future. And if you would really like to support all of us here at the GameOverJesse channel, please consider purchasing a GameOverJesse t-shirt or becoming a Patreon at patreon.com/GameOverJesse, where you can receive many rewards, such as getting shoutouts, having any topic or theory that you select discussed on the podcast or made into its own video, having your question answered, joining on as a guest on the podcast, and playing with us during our Twitch live streams at twitch.tv/GameOverJesse, and much, much more.